You're listening to Grindhouse Courthouse. We put movies on trial to determine whether or not a film has committed too many movie misdemeanors to be considered viewable. Please rise for the honorable judge of this episode.
Guys, time is a flat triangle, okay?
What do boats set adrift in the ocean have in common?
Is it nothing?
Not much!
That's about it, what you just described. So this week's podcast, we thought we were doing the Bermuda Triangle. Boy, were we wrong.
Yeah, holy shit.
How is it possible that two movies about boats that are full of ghosts or set adrift have nothing to do with the Bermuda Triangle? And how unlikely is it that a movie named Triangle has nothing to do with the Bermuda Triangle?
Or triangles in general.
I'll let that slide.
Yeah, you thought you'd see a couple triangles in this movie.
Time is a flat triangle.
Okay, so I think we should specify. Folks, this week we did a themed double feature. We watched Ghostship and we watched Triangle.
Hell yeah.
Anyone have some info on these movies? Because that's all I know about them.
I don't think we had any info either when we dove into this. We were just like, I think
We looked at the trailers.
We saw some trailers. We knew that we got a lot of great response from our Sahara episode, and people love boats.
Boats.
They want more boats. So we had to do a boat episode. We're talking bows, sterns, rudders, sails, hulls.
Poop decks.
Every piece of boat anatomy, we got them. That's what this episode is.
But we watched the trailer for both Ghostship and Triangle. So Ghostship 2002, Triangle 2009, because I know there's confusion with Triangle, because there's multiple Triangle movies or miniseries. So that's the one we watched. And the idea behind this was, after watching the trailer, it has to be related to the Bermuda Triangle. Let's see which movie does it better. Which movie has the better story regarding the Bermuda Triangle. We were wrong after watching these movies, so we had to change our questions, change our ideas of what we wanted to track between these two stories. So I'm going to set it up, and we're going to go back and forth between these two movies. But the reveal of the ship, which movie did a better job at revealing the ship, and was that necessary? Was the boat necessary for the plot?
No, for both.
Neither did a good job.
Just none. Whatever. Okay.
The ship just literally appears out of nowhere in both films.
Kinda. Ghostship, the guy comes in and I have pictures of this boat. And that's how we got introduced to it, which was pretty crappy.
Yeah, we got the guy from Dexter coming in looking very pale and thin and ghostly, might I add. But he reveals to the team this crew of hard-working boat people. I don't know the proper terms for any of this stuff.
Fucking group of people who have nothing to do with each other in both movies. These people have nothing to do with each other normally. It was a ridiculous group of people.
They are not connected. Yeah. But you do get to...
In Ghostship, they're salvagers, right? They salvage things because, they tell us that. They don't really show us that so much. In Triangle, they're people that hate each other?
Yes.
I think they hate
That's
each other.
the best way to describe it. They fucking hate each other. That's it.
There's absolutely zero reason for anybody in the triangle to associate with one another at all.
Not one bit.
We got two bougie, snooty rich people wearing all their yacht gear. And then we got a diner waitress, some other white trash looking dude who doesn't wear shoes the entire movie.
Liam!
Even walking up to the boat.
We call it Liam White Trash?
Or Liam Hemsworth.
We're talking about wannabe Thor here.
Yeah.
No, so we got oh, what is his name? Now I'm having this.
Victor is Liam Hemsworth.
Hemsworth. We got a Hemsworth. Not the best Hemsworth, but also not the worst Hemsworth. So
Yeah, right in the
I
middle.
think we're just kind of batting 500.
Mid-grade.
He's the Billy Baldwin. Or is Billy the worst? Who's the middle one? Not Alec, who's the best.
No,
but the
Alec's
middle one.
fine.
We got Biodome Baldwin.
Yeah, that
That's
one.
Billy.
Steven?
That's
Is there
Billy.
a Stephen Baldwin?
Stephen Baldwin, I think, is the middle. So we got Stephen Baldwin of the Hemsworths.
And there's no reason for any of them to be friends, but they're on the boat anyway. They're just going sailing around.
I think the only connection is that they went to high school together. That's why.
Yes, I think they're all connected to Greg.
That's it.
Which is I want to say the main, well, he's not the main lead, but he's the main male character. He's the love interest to the main lead. They all know him, and that's why they're going on this boat. But yes, they hate each other. They do not want to be part of this group. But they all want to go sailing and get drunk. Stay drunk, so it works out. So with Triangle, you get this unlikely crew coming together, and they're just going out for a day on the sea, and basically they lose wind and they get hammered with a storm, which looks completely realistic. And we did not question the CGI or special effects in this scene at all. It felt like we were against the natural elements. So once their boat turnsides, we lose, what was her, Heather?
Heather, yeah.
She just got
Heather.
sucked right
Holy
out. Good for her.
What's the point of Heather?
She's out of the movie.
She got out early. Good for her. They capsized. They're on top of the boat, and I don't know how many days, hours they were waiting outside. But then we get introduced to. Does anybody know the name of the ship? Actually,
The Aeolus.
The Aeolus.
the
Aeolus?
Aeolus. Yeah. So it's like
Yeah.
a 19.
How did he pronounce it though? When they found it first, it was really weird.
The Aeolus.
Yeah, something weird.
Eels.
Aeolus?
The Ulis.
But it's a 19. It's a 1950s cruise liner, basically,
Yeah.
that is abandoned, and they're waving it down, and they somehow get on. So that's the setup for Triangle of how the boat gets revealed, as well as its involvement with the plot.
So is that the only like major connection between the two movies? They're both like 1950 old school liners.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There's this idea that that's the creepiest
Well, they're
era.
horror movies set
Nobody-
on cruise liners that are abandoned ghost ships, essentially. And that was the connection. One is called Ghost Ship. The other is called Triangle. But Triangle involves a ghost ship.
Yeah. Like in the entire movie, that's the only connection we can find, right?
It's sort of, there's in the most vague sense. The movies are identical, right? You got some friends. They're on a boat. Their boat sinks. They find another boat. There's something spooky about that boat, but they ain't afraid of no boats. And they hop right on. The friends split up. Spooky stuff happens to them. One of them survives, and then the movie's over. We've seen this trope time and time.
Does she survive?
Ooh.
We'll discuss that
Oh,
later. Don't
God.
worry, Dave. Don't worry, Dave.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah, there's a shotgun in both movies.
And a
Both
ship.
movies
yes.
have
All right,
shots.
there's
Sure.
a lot
This
of
is true.
connection.
So
Got it.
so
Yeah.
so right off the bat, which movie do you think did a better job using a boat as a prop or as a story element?
Neither.
I think Ghost Ship had the cooler ship.
Triangle.
No one wants to explain why.
It's Triangle. It's Triangle because Ghost Ship is identical to fucking Event Horizon, but in space. The plot is identical,
It fucking is Event Horizon.
right?
Or
didn't think about
13
that.
Ghosts.
Oh yes,
Oh,
13
yeah.
Ghosts. There's a
Well,
heavy
there's a major
undertone.
13 Ghost connection there.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Well, it's the same.
Definitely.
It's the same
Feel it
director.
the whole time.
They should have called Ghost Ship 600 plus ghosts.
Here's the thing. They could have set Ghost Ship in a hotel,
Yep.
in a ski resort,
Yep.
at a picnic center,
Yep.
in a school,
Yeah.
in an insane asylum,
What about a hot air balloon?
a hot air balloon. It has to be a big one, but a zeppelin, perhaps.
Ooh. There we go.
There, now we're talking.
Couldn't Triangle also be placed anywhere?
It has to be within the triangle, though, in this magical zone.
What triangle?
What triangle?
What triangle do you think, Dave?
They didn't say anything.
If they don't specifically say Bermuda Triangle, didn't happen.
But that was the point. That was the point.
No.
They didn't want to lean into it. It's like the movie's called Triangle, and they set sail off the southern coast of Florida and went into the Caribbean.
This is why we're so upset with these movies, is because they didn't acknowledge Bermuda Triangle.
Fuck that. No, I hate when they beat you over the head with
I
things like
need one character saying, "We're doing it. We're entering the triangle."
Oh, is that why
That's what I
Ghost
want.
Ship is the better movie? Because we have somebody go,
yes!
it's a ghost ship.
Yes!
Yes,
Motherfucker. Tell me this is one of them ghost ships? That
I
actually-
got
Time to get my dick out and fall down an elevator shaft and die!
They get a point. Ghost Ship gets a point for actually saying the name of the movie in the movie.
Fuck that.
But so I know we're gonna move past this, but I just want to point out with the boat idea. So Dylan's right. I think a Ghost Ship could have been taken anywhere. Like it could have taken place anywhere else. The thing is, if you put it in a hotel or a house, then it's just a haunted house movie, and people have done that so many times. So by trying to put it on a boat, you have that extra element of they can't escape because the ocean's surrounding them. Something along those lines. So it adds another level of threat. But I think Triangle took more advantage of actually using a boat because we saw more of it. I know Tom's going to disagree with me, but they explored multiple areas.
I do.
Yeah.
You're wrong. It's
Yep.
just the same sets from different angles. Whereas a Ghost Ship, they actually had a guy that they hired to dress it up and make it look awful. I believe they tried to interject some demonic waterology. I can't remember the exact quote.
Guys, we watched the behind the scenes.
Oh my God.
Those words right from the director.
However, what's his name from Dexter fucked that plot so hard that I can't wrap my head around the plot of Ghost Ship, whereas Triangle, I thought the plot was super tight, actually. I'm like, oh, that's a clever plot.
Yeah. Triangle
Really?
was cool.
We can break that plot apart, though. That plot wasn't airtight, like you say.
I bet you it is. And I would challenge you on anything.
I think Tom has one direct question
Okay.
about near the end of the movie that's going to break it all.
We'll see.
I'm gonna blow that wide open.
Because the end tied it all together for me on Triangle. So, full disclosure, everybody, I loved Triangle.
Oh, yeah.
And normally we shit on movies on this. I thought Triangle was a good movie. And I was pissed off at Triangle for a long period of time until the very end where I thought, this might actually be a really clever movie.
Oh my god.
A little bit too clever.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the end of the movie? Should we talk about it right now?
We're doing it.
No.
Well, okay, really quickly, what is Triangle about?
Time loops. Time loops in the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah. It's Groundhog Day on a boat.
There we go. That perfectly sums it up, where there are different time loops where the main character, I can't remember her name, Jessie, I believe, is experiencing multiple loops of time that's playing out of her trying to
Infinitely.
Yeah, of her trying to escape this boat, but then it ties back into her always having to go back onto this boat because it might break the cycle so she can be a better mother and not potentially kill her kid.
So in these loops, though, things don't go away. They're happening, and like everything piles up, right? So
Yeah,
like
right.
when the girl dies on the deck,
She's dropping her lockets.
To a certain extent at least.
What do you mean?
Like bodies for sure. Well, I don't know if they could like exhaust the number of shotguns, for example. That I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if physical things.
you keep getting more and more, but they don't disappear after. Yeah, so they don't disappear after though.
Okay, so what are the rules, right? Because if there's a million seagull carcasses being thrown over the edge,
Yeah.
and maybe there's only like 20, wouldn't there be like a million car crashes on that stretch of road? Wouldn't it just be like bodies flying out of sealed duffel bags and trunks just sprawling themselves out? Wouldn't there be a million little fat kids with their triangle drums just sitting there crying on the road and no adults being like, you should leave, you should not sit there and look?
Tom, this is because
Riddle me that!
Tom, because the movie is called Triangle. Time is a triangle. Time is not a circle.
Time is a flat triangle.
It has to start
course.
at some point. Some vertex when this whole thing started, when all the seagulls and bodies started piling up and axes were replaced. Okay, that's fair. But it is kind of neat the way that like Jess slowly figures out the puzzle and figures out that stuff is repeating itself and it happens only when everyone's dead and she's encountering herself. But I guess the one major knock on it is that as Time Cop has taught us anything, if you interact with yourself, you're going to turn into an amorphous blob of goo.
Yeah.
But they didn't do
And
that.
to answer Tom's question, we don't know where we are in the cycle, and the cycle does not necessarily reach the same point all the time. It can be reset much earlier in the cycle.
So
but we get a hint that because she walks on the dock, she's like, where's your kid? Oh, he's at school, and she's like really taken out of it. That's like a hint that something bad happened. Also, when you go in the car crash, her body of her previous self was not in the duffel bag, so that is also very weird.
I can believe that the car.
Yeah, and there's an issue with
The car, you would not like disintegrate just the duffel bag and a person would come out. The bag would be somewhere.
No, I'm willing to believe that in that car accident, the trunk popped open and the bag ripped open with the body. I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't.
I don't buy that.
That's bullshit.
We're all
Zero
against
stars.
that one.
Like the only plot that makes sense out of these two movies is there is a ghost man who has some ghost gold who needs to get some ghosts.
Yeah, what the
end.
fuck? Okay.
We're
I don't know how we're going to try and tie these two movies together at all.
Well, okay,
because-
so we've done the first topic of the ship. We've covered that. We're diving into
Okay,
the
they're
actual
both on
stories
boats.
themselves of both of these movies. The next element was actually the horror and suspense of which movie portrayed ghosts or the overall scares better.
But we haven't even addressed the boat stuff yet, to be honest with you.
If you want to go back to the boats, we can go back to the boats.
Okay, let's get back to the boats. So
Okay.
I'll do Triangle because I remember Triangle better, and then maybe someone jump in on Ghost Ship and explain the ship itself. So Triangle, the ship is this like Titanic looking cruise liner. So the yacht that this group of people who hate each other is on capsizes because of the storm. They're adrift at sea. They're pretty desperate. This massive cruise liner shows up, but again, it's very old, antiquated. They don't really show how they get on, but basically they board the ship. Heather's gone. We don't know where Heather is. Presumably dead.
Yeah.
I think
Anyway.
the reason for Heather even existing in the first place is because they leave a little carrot out. So when they get on the ship, there's some evidence that there's another person on there. Like they see somebody scurrying around.
Yes.
There are little notes written and stuff. So they kind of trick the audience by saying maybe it's Heather, this person that got lost in the storm.
Oh.
But ultimately she doesn't
Well,
matter.
the main clue is they find the main character's keys. And that's completely inexplicable unless Heather is on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Heather's a
that's
thief.
why
She
they do
steals things. So.
that. Yeah, well, just Heather's on the boat. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So they're running around the boat, and yeah, you get a pretty limited perspective of it. Like you don't really feel like you're on the boat. You're on the deck a bit. You're in a kind of this like banquet hall. You never actually get to the bridge, which I found weird. That you never get to the bridge.
Yeah, I actually have a
this
tidbit
boat.
on that.
You get
But you get the
close.
Don't say it. Just say that you have
You
one.
get
I just have a
close,
tidbit
like
on
you're
it.
clearly in like a captain's quarters or some kind of like non like guest quarter at some point. But that's about the closest you get. Even though they keep saying we got to get to the bridge, which I think actually they do get to a radio at some point, but I don't know if that's on the bridge or not.
Yeah, it's
but basically,
some nondescript room.
yeah, the purpose of the boat is probably the same reason that it's important in Ghostship, is it's hyper isolated.
Yeah.
The abandoned boat is it's important because it gives a sense of like, oh, we're saved. This, and then that like crushing realization, like, oh no, we've actually gone into an even worse situation than we were just on. And yeah, so and yeah, I mean, it's just it's the stage for the terror to occur.
So yeah, Ghost Ship
I
is a little
guess-
different though.
Yeah, and I guess
Because they're-
Triangle could have happened like elsewhere, like on an island or something, but it does need this kind of like magical time loop stuff to occur. So
Yeah.
I mean, a boat is the logical place to do that, to have all these events occur. I mean, you could have. I actually think it would have been harder on anything else to do. Like an island is the only other option, literally.
Plane,
But with the scale, that'd be pretty hard. Like a plane's
Yeah.
like a couple aisles.
a double decker.
What the fuck are you talking about? What is that?
You ever seen a double decker plane?
I thought you meant a bus.
Yeah, I thought you were a bus too.
No,
Okay.
plane. A plane, you motherfuckers.
How are they going to get on the plane?
Maybe you could put some snakes on it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So.
All right, maybe, but I think a ship was the logical choice in this plot because
Sure.
all right, they don't say, "Oh my God, we're in the Bermuda Triangle," but they're in the Bermuda Triangle. They're in it. Like, what else?
Look, if they don't say it, it didn't happen. Just like how they had to explain to me in Ghost Ship that there was a ghost man with his ghost gold
All right,
collecting all these ghosts.
A man named Ferryman ferrying souls to hell.
Oh, it works on so many levels. One, I guess.
Oh my God.
Oh God, I'm upset I didn't catch that with the first and last view.
Oh God. Yeah. You're not going to watch it over and over again. Ghost Ship.
Like, Ghost Ship setting exists so they can tell some spooky stories. Like, Gabriel Byrne gets out there and he's like, I know a story about a ship. It was inhabited by ghosts. And they go, ha, that could never happen to us. Right, guys? But then it does. That's the extent of, like, what that is. I assume they wrote that script in, like, 2 weeks. Someone from the studio came down and said, like, look, we need a fucking spooky movie. Just like 13 Ghosts, but you got to up the stakes. So they're like, well, what's scarier than a house? A ship. Okay. What's more than 13? 600. And so they said, this ship carries 600 people, and they're all ghosts. Also some gold and
Right.
some machine gunning.
Yeah, I was going to say they also have to put a time limit on the events of the movie because as they discover it, then they say, oh no, something recently put a hole in it, so now it's sinking. Because otherwise, it would be trivial for these salvagers to say, okay, we'll just like take our time with this and nothing spooky or scary will happen. But no,
Yep.
it's just sinking for some reason.
Both movies rely heavily on time pressure.
But-
that's the other thing. There's shotguns and time pressure. And boats, I guess.
What's the time pressure of Triangle?
She's got to break the loop. She's got to kill all her friends or not kill them.
But they're
She makes a bunch of psychotic decisions throughout the whole movie.
definitely.
I know, but it makes sense when you watch to the end.
okay.
Why doesn't she just talk to her friends? Like, why doesn't she just go and talk to them?
Because they hate each other.
Because what happened to her
No.
before she got on the boat?
Okay, this is
She talks to them all separately and never as like, hey guys, this is really fucked up. Let's discuss it. No,
Okay.
it's straight to murder.
No.
No questions asked.
No, the
Yes,
second
but-
loop. once she goes into the second,
She's in her second loop.
yeah, once she
Yeah.
goes into the second loop, then she starts trying to have conversations with them. So she kills
Kinda.
Victor. Yeah, she accidentally kills Victor, but then she has a conversation with herself. Like, she has like the gun pointed at herself, which is, again, we were shouting, why isn't she just talking to people? Why isn't she just saying, like, this is a messed up situation, I don't know what's going on, but like, there's another copy of me, there's you, we need to figure this out, rather than going directly into murdering everyone. But
This is a trope that happens in all kinds of movies. It happens like there's the scene where the bougie friends say, "You killed him," and then she says, "That wasn't me," and then that's the end of the conversation. When she could literally just say, "We're in a Groundhog Day," and then that would be it. Everyone would get it.
Oh, shit.
next time I see you, Matt, I'm just gonna run into your place and just Groundhog Day, and just leave.
But that
See how
doesn't
you
solve
take it.
anything, because then you're like,
No.
well, that doesn't fucking help, because I don't know if you're the evil one or not.
But you can at least work more stuff out. I felt like she didn't try. It was just like, I'm going to see all
I
these
know.
necklaces, and then I'm going to go straight to the batshit crazy and start murdering.
I totally agree. And that's what bothered the shit out of me the whole
Yeah.
time. I'm like, why is this lady being fucking weird and spacey and kind of crazy right from the get-go? And like everyone else is on the party boat until you get to the end and you realize she's probably like,
She's a ghost.
no, she's in full like shock or like post-traumatic
No,
stress or like,
she is dead.
no, she's not.
She died in that car accident? Yeah.
This could be a state of purgatory.
There are no ghosts in
This is
Triangle.
purgatory. This is
There are
lost
no
all over again.
ghosts. You're thinking of ghost
Oh
shit.
God.
See, my thing is she actually dies in that car accident.
What?
Yeah.
They have that
And
fucking
she's
psychotic
a
character,
fucking-
the
yeah,
taxi
the
driver.
taxi driver. What the fuck? Why? Nowhere in life would that happen. A taxi driver just drives up.
Okay.
Hey, you want to ride?
They can't save that
And
kid. They better leave it.
No,
Yeah.
All right.
it's cover. He points at this lifeless corpse of this kid and be like, "Can't fucking save that kid, huh? Anyways, I'm a taxi driver. Where do you want to go?" She's a ghost. She's 100% a ghost.
No, I'm gonna break this whole thing wide open.
Break it
Okay.
down. Break it down.
Clue number.
Dylan's getting super drunk, by the way.
I've seen him down 3 bottles of wine already, and we're
He's
only
got his
15
bag of
minutes.
wine. Just going to town. Okay,
Okay.
break it down, Matt.
Okay, clue number 1. The name of the boat is Aeolus. And then there's a scene where one of the bougie people says Aeolus was the father of Sisyphus, the Greek god who was cursed to push the boulder up a hill
Yep.
and have it roll down every time for eternity because he broke a promise with death. That wording is important because at the end of the movie, we find out that after this car accident, this taxi driver shows up. He says, well, he's dead. Can't do anything. Where do you want to go? She goes to the harbor and then he says, I'm going to leave the meter running. Are you coming back? And she says, I promise. But she never comes back. That guy was death. That's the reason for
And
this
she
whole
was a
movie. This whole movie is about keeping your promises to cab drivers. It's a cautionary tale. Case closed.
I thought it was about beating yourself to death with a hammer. I thought
For
that's
being a
what the movie
shitty
was.
ass parent.
So the taxi driver was Karen, who is supposed to take her over the River Styx, which is the highway in
Exactly.
Australia or wherever, or Florida, wherever the hell they are. Yeah,
Oh.
I think this movie's a little deep, and maybe it went over some of your heads because it's
Actually,
brilliant.
I'll say this much: this movie is deeper than Ghostship.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Wait, we haven't even gotten to how Ghostship begins, which is
Well,
a great
hold on.
fucking scene.
I forgot that actually Triangle is the name of their sailboat.
Yep.
Yes,
I thought that was the only connection to a triangle in that movie.
Also, the sail is a triangle.
Yeah, it's getting deeper and deeper.
And the marching band at the end had triangles on their drums.
Oh my God, it's so deep.
Yeah, is it? Is it?
Also, you guys,
The director said he came up with the idea when he was drunk. So
Yeah, he was day drinking when he saw an ocean liner.
we watched the behind scenes on Triangle as well. We just watched these 2 movies and said, God, we need more information.
it was a long night.
Anyways, Ghost Ship starts with a party, and all these people are just hanging out, having a good time. They're drinking their champagne, they're eating their like little finger foods. It's the 1960s, so it's probably like jellied ham in aspic or I don't know, something fucking disgusting. And then for some reason, someone is able to rig up a high tension steel wire to just sweep through the dance floor and cut everybody in half.
Yeah.
That's it.
Is that a thing that's on boats?
And you think that
Begin movie.
That's your cold open right there for Ghostship.
I hated that because they didn't explain how the rest of the people died until the very end.
I know, that was bothering the shit out of me for so long.
Yeah.
Ugh.
no, because they had 600 people on that dance floor, right? Like, yeah, it looked like 40. Yeah, it could have been 20 people.
Okay, spoiler.
It was rat poison
for all of you.
Yeah.
They killed everybody thoroughly with poison and guns and shit, but like initially you think everyone just happened to die because every single person on the boat was at that dance floor, and the whole time you're thinking, the fuck are the chances that every single one of them is on that dance floor?
Who the fuck is running the boat?
Yeah,
Like,
anyone
one
with
guy must have
credentials
been
to
like,
operate.
I'm sick. The captain must have been up at the, like, there's no way they're all there. And then you realize there's like demons or something that wanted the. I forget the whole plot, but they're humans, right? Like there's human. No, but they're also kind of ghosts.
He's the devil on your shoulder, and if you do a sin, try to get the gold, then he has your soul.
Yes,
They have
he's
to-
So what
sin.
was the salvage's crew's sin? What did they do wrong outside of like, yeah, we salvage boats?
They wanted the gold.
Oh, you can break it. I think
That's
you can break-
fine.
No, you can break it down.
I want gold too. Do I deserve to die, Dave?
Oh my god,
Ooh.
Dylan's flashing. All of
I was
his
just thinking,
bling.
what was the sins of all the people dancing on the dance floor then?
That
I
girl
don't-
was a supporter of National Socialism. They didn't get into it much in the movie, but
Oh, I do it.
She wasn't marked. She's like, I'm not marked. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
But that wasn't.
I'm
That's
pure
not
of
part
heart.
of the collecting of the souls. That's just the bad crew trying to steal the gold. So there was a bad group of people that boarded that ship because they knew there was gold there and they were going to take it for themselves. And they all turned on each other until you have main devil guy. That's just like,
Yeah.
all right,
But the
the only
problem-
way I can get off the ship is if I collect more souls. I need more souls and then I can leave.
No, he
Isn't
doesn't
that the
want to
idea?
leave the ship. He just wants to get souls for a quota for hell.
Okay.
And he says to be marked, you have to have a sin.
Yes.
And then the girl said, I'm the only girl, or the only person on the boat that's not marked. So how did everyone else get marked as a sinner?
They're just bad. They've lived their lives, Dave.
Sodomy.
They've done all
Yeah.
terrible things.
Everyone in the world is just terrible
Yes.
people.
mostly sodomy.
Rampant butt
Dave
sex.
Dave is the purest one who has not sinned, so
Everybody
everybody
has
has
an age limit where you're like you're good, and then like the girl's age, she's like just before the cusp, and then after that you're garbage. We're all garbage human beings.
I assume most of the crew just wore clothes of like mixed fibers. And that's probably
There we go.
it.
We are born impure.
They're mixing milk and meat.
Original sin.
They were all eating shellfish. Fucking get them out of there. Send them to hell. Cut all that. Cut. No, nobody can know.
That girl was wearing cloth made from two fabrics, so she needs to burn in hell forever.
Ghostship was a really good movie, you guys.
God, it was so bad. First off, Ghostship looked like, what was with the camera? Did anyone else notice like kind of hallmarky or like TV quality about it?
Did you watch a bootleg version of Dylan?
What?
Did you watch a bootleg version?
I
Ghost
don't. No, I watched it on Netflix.
Was it a cam version of someone watching the theater?
Yeah, imagine watching a cam version of Ghostship. Well, like, I'd like to watch the HD, but like, fuck, man, there's such high restrictions on Ghostship from 2002.
Ghostship is like a frustrating movie, yeah, because like the camera, like the set design was nice, like they put effort in, right? But then something about and I mean, I honestly don't know enough about cameras to really answer this, but it felt cheap, right?
Yeah.
It was like a TV kind of movie, right?
Yeah.
It was
Like
produced.
there were scenes where you're like, what is this? Is this like Supernatural season 6 on the WB? Like
yeah. It was just a really long Supernatural episode. I think.
also,
Definitely.
fuck any TV show that goes 20 seasons. Like like what the hell?
Well, speaking
Stupid
of
idea.
20 seasons, it also has a guy that was on Grey's Anatomy before he got canceled. Before getting canceled was cool. Isaiah Washington,
Who?
the Greer, the guy who
Greer.
falls down the elevator shaft.
The Ghost Humper.
Yeah. The guy who wanted to get his dick wet with Ghost.
How'd he get canceled? before canceling was a thing.
He said some pretty bad like homophobic things about one of his co-stars on Grey's Anatomy, and then they killed him off or wrote him off or something.
Yeah,
This
it
is
doesn't mean
shortly
anything
before.
in Grey's Anatomy. They killed like 80% of that cast. It's just like every other episode was like, who is it? It's our coworker. Oh shit. It's just gotta fix him. You can't. He's dead. Oh no. Anyway, that's like season 1 through 7.
Through like 21.
17, you mean?
They actually killed so many characters from Grey's Anatomy. They had to cycle back, and like Sandra Oh had to like get horribly injured again. Like in the first one, like I think an icicle stabbed her, and they're like, "Icicle stabbed her. We gotta save her. We saved her. Thank God." And then like 3 seasons later, it happened to her again. So the takeaway from Grey's Anatomy is like doctors go to the hospital with like life-threatening injuries every single week, and you always know the people who are on the operating table.
All the time. Mm-hmm. Never a conflict of interest whatsoever.
Never.
Just get them on the table. Start operating.
Yeah. And they all fuck each other, of course.
So I'm gonna bring this back to Ghostship and Triangle. You know those
Right.
two movies we watched. Let's go to scare tactics and horror, suspense. These movies do very different things for horror or for the thrills. Which one did you enjoy more? So Ghostship, we had the classic jump scares, little girl running down the hallway, blood, guts. But with Triangle, it's more of a thriller, more of a psychological thriller where you do not know what's happening. They do a lot more suspense where they're holding shots down hallways that look like they go forever. So from your viewings, which one sat better for you?
Which was scarier, you mean?
Yeah, which was scary. Which one did you like more? Because, again, there's people that do enjoy gory scenes, like people getting tortured and stuff. But there's other people that like the more suspenseful element. So, yeah, Dave's already shaking.
Who likes those things, Adam? Is it you?
Yeah,
do
why
you
not?
like them?
Yeah, I know. I don't like any of that gory stuff. Doesn't do it for me. The jump scares aren't amazing either in Ghostship.
No,
They're barely jump scares.
Yeah, it's hard to even classify them.
they should have. There's a little bit of Final Destination kind of style to it, the way that everybody dies in Ghostship, but just not enough that it's kind of funny in the way Final Destination is.
Mm-hmm.
You mean falling down an elevator shaft?
Yeah, that's
Trying
not.
to hump a ghost?
With your dick out. With your dick.
Nah, that was.
They should have showed his dick.
Yeah.
I think so. Give it a hard R rating.
Release the dick cut.
Zemeckis, let's see the dick cut.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like the best one was probably Carl Urban, the way he gets like sucked into the gears of the engine at the end. That was probably like
That-
I don't know.
But that
He gets chomped.
Yeah, that felt
Yeah.
odd because it didn't seem like there was any real threat for him. Like he was just like, oh, I'm just going to do my job and finish slizzling up this area. And then he just gets swooped right into the engine and dies.
Did you guys
was
feel like kind of like a tonal dissonance between the body horror that they were trying to do in Ghostship and then like the rest of what Ghostship was?
Yes.
Because the body horror, I love that shit. Like I love when they just go all out with like practical effects and just making like gory stuff happen. Like it doesn't scare me because it's with practical effects you can usually tell. But it's just more like I don't know, it's just like old Hollywood stuff. I really love that first scene where they had like everyone get cut in half and they had like arms like twitching and like guys like trying to pull their guts in and stuff. Like I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
But then the rest of the movie was not that tone, like at all. Like it was just, it was like I said, it was like a WB, like that would have been PG-13. Without that scene, that whole movie would have easily passed as PG-13. Easily.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they
So
had.
did they spend all their money on that first scene? And they go, oh shit, we have no more money.
I don't think it was the money.
thing.
I think it was their creativity. Like they were bankrupt with ideas. Where it's just like they had this one thing that they wanted to pull off, but they couldn't add new deaths or like new styles of killing people throughout the movie. They were just banking on this one thing, and it was mainly because the director, he came from 13 Ghosts. That one still had the horror element that you're talking about, where limbs are getting cut off. Like there's one scene where what's his name? Shaggy from Scooby-Doo gets cut in half vertically, and then his body slides apart. The director saw that.
No, that's 13 Ghosts.
Yeah, 13 Ghosts. Yeah, but it's Shaggy.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were talking about Ghostship.
Sorry, no, we're talking about
The
well.
only movie that matters.
Yeah.
So the director saw that scene from 13th Ghost where the guy gets split in half vertically. Really liked that, but he wanted to amplify it.
No, he is the director. He
He is-
didn't see it.
Okay.
He created it, Adam.
Let me reword this. God damn. The director and writer from 13th Ghost took the one stunt that he had where Shaggy from Scooby-Doo gets cut vertically in half and said, wouldn't this be neat if I 10x'd it, 100x'd it? What if we had 40 people getting cut in half? But rather vertically, we did it horizontally. That's all he brought to the table. He didn't have any other scare tactics. He didn't have any other crazy deaths that he wanted to introduce. So
no,
much like
that's a common thing, I think, in a lot of horror movies. Like, I think some horror movies spin out of individual scenes. Like, they literally have one scene in mind, and the rest of the story kind of like works its way out from that.
Yeah.
Like Jeepers Creepers had like probably like one scene in mind where like there's this like crazy monster throwing bodies into a pit, and it's like, well, what the hell's that about? And then you kind of like work it out. And I think a lot of horror movies kind of develop that way.
There's another movie that does that. It's called Triangle. And
Fuck
the only
you, man.
No, it's true. It's true. No, he is on record saying this behind the scenes. He said, like, what if there was some people and then she saw herself getting on a boat and I was drunk? Those are his exact words. Not paraphrasing.
Oh God.
Well,
but it's true. But a lot of movies are built off of like.
And you know what? Sometimes they do that successfully, and sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, like, and it's okay for certain movies to come out of like fucking fever dreams, right? That's how we got Terminator.
Yeah.
If you ignore all the lawsuits, but yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'm agreeing with you.
I agree. Okay, and sometimes, for sure, I think more often than not, that does not work. I genuinely think Triangle is a tight script. I genuinely think it worked, and the acting was about 1 billion times better.
That's that
in Ghostship.
Yeah, the acting was so much better. Come on.
Okay, break this down.
So the script was better and the acting was a lot better. And for a long time I thought the acting was shit until the end, and I thought the acting's actually pretty good.
The script is undeniably better in Triangle, for sure.
Yeah.
But let me refer you to the scene where Carl Urban and his dumpy friend with the blonde hair and brown sideburns are sitting there being like, what are we going to eat on this ghost ship? So they get the beans out and they're eating the beans.
Are you talking about Ghostship, or are you talking about
that's a
Triangle?
I'm talking about the superb. I was going to say superb, but it came out subpar. Writing of Ghostship, where they're just shoveling beans into their mouth, but it turns out the beans are maggots.
Oh my God!
Blew my mind.
We haven't seen that done before.
I don't know what I'm arguing for Triangle. I thought you were arguing for Ghostship.
This is what Tom does. He
happening?
agrees with you, he sets you up, and then he pivots into a different movie.
I'm pulling the rug off under your feet.
Oh my God, I'm getting totally triangled here.
Okay.
Which loop are we in?
You're trying to trick me. You're trying to tell me my beans aren't maggots, you fucker.
Okay, so let's go back to Dylan. You said that the acting, you were unsure until the very end. The very end, you're like, oh
Yes.
man, the acting, it was actually great. So what part of the very end made the acting part good?
The lead actress.
Yeah.
I thought she was fucking weird.
So just
Here's
realizing she was a ghost?
Here's the
Made sense.
interesting thing.
I don't think she's a ghost. I think she's full-blown psychotic from the get-go.
Yeah.
She's
And
not. She's not in a normal state of mind, because if you start from the beginning of the movie, you expect all the characters to be basically at the baseline, which is normal human beings getting on a boat to go party.
Yeah.
And right from the get-go,
But you get that snippet about the kid, and Liam's like, oh man, is she all right? She seems kind of fucked up.
yeah,
Because it's Saturday. Like, they give a pretty big hint.
and they kind of explain it like,
It introduces questions. It introduces questions to the audience, because you're seeing this actress, like, she's not all there. She's not recognizing the people she's around, which they should be her friends.
but she's not.
And
She's not weird enough to be this character makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
She's
like Heather.
annoying. She's for sure annoying.
Yeah.
She annoyed the shit out of me right from the get-go, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Like, this person isn't acting like a normal person. And all the other actors were. The reactions were at least a little bit relatable. And that's the one thing I hate, when I can't relate to character actions. So right from the get-go, I thought she was acting weird. And I'm like, this is not a normal, like, she's not acting normal. And she's not surprised enough. And then even as you start to unfold the mystery, when she's like, oh, I recognize this. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then you realize, oh, they've been in a loop. You're still like, you shouldn't know. You shouldn't recognize this even with the loop. Like, this is your first time on the boat. I don't know. It's just like,
I think it benefits also.
eventually-
It also, like, I watched the first beginning of the movie again after it ended and I knew what was going to happen. So the whole movie is it's kind of an enclosed loop.
Yeah.
And she's acting weird at the beginning and you're kind of like unsure. Like she is crazy. I think there is a little bit where it falls apart if she's not a little bit crazy, but it makes a little.
I mean, that's the point. She has broken. Like she's not. It's not just she's in the loop. She's also like her child's dead and she's not okay.
Yeah. There's a little bit of rational behavior there because like at the end she decides to go back on the loop on the boat again because there is a little bit of like I can do this differently and fix it.
Yeah.
It breaks apart a little bit because there is like at some point you hit a part of the movie where she still is trying to figure out what's going on. So at some point she has to kind of forget or reset her brain to see what.
Yeah.
I know exactly when that happens.
When does that happen?
It's when she takes a nap on the boat.
Yeah.
She takes a nap on the boat, and then Heather comes down and is like, oh, bad dreams are just real life working out for you? She has the most fucking psychotic line I've ever heard about dreams. She's like, oh, you had a nightmare? I guess it's just curing you of your real life stress. To explain why, I guess she just forgot everything.
Yeah. That's...
Yeah!
But apart from that little detail, it actually benefit, like her behavior at the beginning makes a little bit more sense once you know what's happening.
But you also know you can't rely on her at any stage.
Yeah. Also,
like,
it's
every time she acts confused, every time she acts unsure, you can't trust her, right? Because okay, maybe she's crazy, or maybe she's just lying to make sure she can get through the loop and get back to. Because think of what it took for her to get from the boat back to her home. She had to kill everybody.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? So I don't know. It's not a sane person plot, but for like a crazy person trying to do it, I don't know. It kind of it's completely asinine insanity. It makes sense as a plot for me.
Yeah. I also
Can you go over the start again for me? Like what happened in the very first scene?
She's with her autistic son, and that's kind of the pre-plot. And then she gets to the boat.
And before that, what does she do in the kitchen? What is she cleaning up blood or is she cleaning up paint?
She cleans up the paint.
Is it red or blue?
Because the kid drops the paint on the ground.
Yeah.
Is it blue or red?
Blue.
It's blue, I think.
Is it blue both times?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I think it's blue both times.
Yeah, I watched the beginning of the movie just before we started recording, and it's blue.
Yeah.
Can confirm.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah. Okay, so she's cleaning up with the paint.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
The expectation is we're in that loop. At least... And remember, the loops don't all continue all the way through necessarily. So we're at least in the maximal loop where the car flips.
Okay. My question is, how do you first get into the loop?
Well, the loops...
Something has to happen at some point where she's like distraught, right? Because she doesn't go to the...
And we don't know. And I think that's the point. We don't know when the loop begins. We have no idea.
They leave it open.
Yeah, she's Sisyphus. She's always pushing the boulder up and it's always rolling down. And it's a continuous curved triangle.
Yeah.
The edges.
A rhombus.
All right. Yeah.
But the point is from our first meeting of this character, from what wannabe Thor says, we're already set the stage of, okay, the kid's fucking dead.
Yep.
So from the very beginning, we should be thinking of what happens at the end. Because what she says makes no sense. It's like, where's your kid? I don't know. It's school. It's fucking Saturday, bitch. Like, it's not fucking school.
To be fair, a lot of characters in the triangle say things that don't make sense. Sorry, triangle, not just triangle.
Yeah. To narrow that down.
Because, let's talk about the Victor character just briefly.
Who's Victor?
Greg's like, yeah, I found him sleep. He's Liam. He's Liam Hemsworth. Because Greg's like, yeah, he's my boy. Or no, he's the boy?
Yeah.
It's very strange. He found him sleeping behind a dumpster and some sort of boat shack, and he's like, come live with me, boy.
Oh, yeah.
None of these people are trustworthy.
No, I know. They're not. None of them are trustworthy. But I don't know. It's just kind of the movie I dig. I love these movies.
Yeah.
I do agree the suspense was better.
Anyway, we got to get back to Ghostship.
Yeah. Hey, Matt.
Suspense was great in the triangle for a bit.
Okay.
Just for a bit.
Just for a bit.
Better.
I think Ghostship was better because what's scarier than a ship full of ghosts? A time loop? I don't think so.
Was it suspenseful at any point in Ghostship?
Yeah, because you're like, are they gonna fix the ship? And you're like, oh, maybe.
Okay, here's my question with Ghostship. What the fuck is the ghost doing on the mainland recruiting a bunch of scavengers?
He needs more souls
Yeah, just bringing
For
in
what?
more people to collect souls.
To what? To do what?
for his quota for hell.
Why?
He calls him management.
He literally says, yeah, his above him in the underworld needs more souls, and he's the ferryman to collect souls. His whole job is just collecting souls.
Why does he have to do it on a boat? Why doesn't he just stay on the mainland and do that?
There's
Keep
also
it isolated.
there
Easier.
is one little nugget of like, so that the captain of the scavenger boat, right? What is his name? Daniel Byrne.
Gabriel Byrne.
He is having a conversation with the ghost captain of the boat that they're on, the one that's dead, and
Yeah.
he says that they picked up one survivor from some other boat. We got so many boats in these movies, man. There's some other boat that
Yeah.
sunk, and they picked this guy up, and I think that turns out to be Dexter guy. That's the
real ghost
Okay.
ship.
I don't think I think he's tied to the
And
gold.
yes.
So when the gold gets brought to land and she freaks out in the ambulance then, now he's on land and he can wreak havoc on the mainland.
Maybe.
Did
Yeah,
she
Alaska.
I could see that.
Or did she
Yeah.
like complete his goal and he's got the gold and he's just going to go live his wonderful life and he's
I
going to
d-
run for president now that he has
No,
all this money?
but
that
his
he
goal-
needs?
He
His-
is.
But his goal was
He's a
not.
ghost.
Yeah, his goal was not to just get the gold off the ship onto the mainland so he can collect. Like his goal was to collect souls. So
But there was a finite.
Actually,
He is an undead person. He is fully part of like the underworld.
Even in the 50s, whenever this initial
Yeah.
plot occurred, he was already an evil ghost guy.
he's the stowaway that comes onto the ship and potentially sees the gold and be like, I can make this curse because everybody's greedy. Everybody wants this, and that's
No, the
their
gold
sin.
came from the other
Did
ship.
it?
Yeah, the
Okay,
gold
so
came
maybe.
out.
There's a
Okay, so
photo.
maybe he.
There's a tastefully presented black and white photo they shove right in front of the camera so you can't
That's
miss
how
it.
Ghostship operates in this movie. They have to
Yeah.
like shove everything in front of you.
How did you guys like at the 3/4 mark of Ghostship where they restarted the movie for you and they told you how it began and how you got all the way up to this point? Did you guys like
Yeah, I
that?
forgot what happened.
Oh, Ghostship. It just,
Wow.
I don't know. It's something special.
I was really scared when Isaiah Washington got his dick out and fell down the open elevator shaft and died. And then the hot lady turned around and she was ugly. Oh!
Also, do you think it's wise that if like one person, like the captain, like he has that little episode where he fights the ghost, he overtakes her body or whatever, or his. They have like a weird tussle, and then their only solution is to throw him into a
Fish
aquarium and then lock it
Oh yeah.
instead of just like tying him up or like not
They're-
putting him in like a sealed room.
Yeah, they're not
Or leaving the hatch open. Yeah.
But you can't climb
I
up,
don't know.
right?
they're not the best at problem solving. Like we see that at the very beginning with the first scene when they're hauling that oil rigger and she's just like, I'm gonna disobey orders even though this thing's gonna capsize and pull us in. Dives right in.
Dives
and
right in.
seals it up.
Dives right in and does some underwater welding in just her t-shirt and jeans, as one does.
Yeah.
Safe.
Safe.
So my
So-
question is, which group was smarter? Was the cast in Ghost Ship, how they handled the situation, smarter than how people in Triangle handled it?
I mean, Ghost Ship has a higher level of responsibility to not be fucking idiots because they're actually professional salvagers, whereas Triangle, they're just people in a party yacht.
But still, like you're thrown in the situation. What do you do?
I think Ghost Ship is stupider.
It's like Ghost Ship. They're like, we're going to go fucking split up, and
Well, I mean that they
Triangle is too confusing though because they have literal doubles of themselves trying to kill them. So like
only one.
the girl runs up and you're like, "Oh, you're our friend," and then she fucking stabs you. So it'd be like me and Tom on a ghost ship, and I'm like, "Tom, there's a bunch of fucking ghosts around here," and Tom's like, "No, you dumbass, there's no ghosts." And then Tom stabs me.
Okay, let's isolate it back to when they first get to the ship, the first issue. So like when you get to an abandoned ship like that, you just like split up.
Well, I tell you
They
who the
kinda
dumbest person in Triangle is. It's that girl who's like, maybe it's Heather. Maybe Heather. Maybe Heather got on the boat and then she's like left a
Do you think
kiss.
Heather's on the boat?
She left the kiss and then she's running around and hiding. Okay, that bitch was like, okay.
She could be in shock though.
She also
right?
makes
She's
a
not
very
thinking
weird
clearly.
decision to like crawl through her dead bodies. Like if you come around a corner and see like 40 of your own bodies, do you stop or do you keep crawling through
Well,
them?
you're
I thought
already
that scene was great because
wounded.
it was like she just come to the realization of like, oh, I'm fucked. Okay.
oh,
Oh,
yeah, I'm
hamburgers.
fucked, but like
Yeah.
let me scuttle
I don't
into
know if I
this.
would crawl through my own bodies.
Well, yeah, but she's very nice to like arrange
I'd
her.
start rooting through for loose change. $20 here.
Oh man, I had
$10
$20
there.
myself. I probably still have one that one.
They're all dumb.
Yeah.
Like every character in both movies is dumb. I mean, I will, Dylan, you started to turn me around on it. Triangle Lady, yeah, not so strange. If you accept that her mind is just like fully broken at the start of the movie, sure, right?
Right? And it actually, that's why I say it's well acted, because it explains her fucked up weird acting, which I thought for a while, I'm like, oh, this lady's a shitty actress. Like, God, is this like, she can't convey like normal human emotion. And then you're like, oh, fuck, she's not. She's trying not to, actually. But she does it in a subtle enough way where it just strikes you as a little annoying and not just like, you know what's up. I don't know. I was really impressed with her. I was really, really impressed with her. Whatever about the others, because the others are like, whatever. They're supporting cast and shit. But like, I thought she was really good.
And there are different, I think there are alternating time loops as well. So she's encountering versions of like, there's like even and odd versions of when she's in the loop. And one of them escapes and makes it back to land. And then the other one gets killed. And the other one interacts with herself at like different stages of the thing. So there's like different levels of acting and how much that character knows at the time. So I thought it was okay.
I liked the scene in Ghostship when they were eating the beans. I thought that was cool.
When fucking Bones is out there and he's just chomping on some goddamn bean. Yeah, they had Bones, by the way, from Star Trek. It was a pretty stellar cast, but like obviously before a lot of these people were stars.
Yeah.
So they had Bones.
Well, they were all like TV actors.
Yeah,
right?
it felt very TV actor making a movie. They had Juliana Margulies. They had, what the fuck is his name? From a billion different TV shows.
I think when we were doing the viewing, we were just like, this feels like it's a Sci-Fi Channel movie. Like if you're to turn on Sci-Fi Channel right now, you would see Ghostship. It had the same quality.
Yeah, it was, they cast a bunch of TV people for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because the Dexter guy who ended up being kind of the main antagonist, I don't remember him from much between this and Dexter.
I don't either.
Which is surprising.
He's been in a million things I've just never seen.
I guess just...
He's a working actor. He works for a living.
Yeah.
He's not like Brad Pitt, who's just lazy and has millions of dollars.
But he's handsome, though.
Lazy fuck. He is handsome. Let's talk about how handsome Brad Pitt is for a while. How handsome is he, guys?
Should we wrap this up then?
If you had to rewatch a movie, start to finish, what would
Triangle,
it be?
easily.
Yeah.
Easily Triangle. I actually want to watch Triangle again.
I watched half of it again just to sort of see up into the spot where she kind of figures out what's going on. It actually has some value. I wouldn't watch it a third time, but like a second time, it's okay. I would rather eat maggoty beans than watch Ghostship again.
Fuck Ghostship. I can't stress enough how much I hated Ghostship.
Yeah.
I would rather hump a ghost to death than watch Ghostship again.
I'd rather fall down an elevator shaft and land on my erect dick than watch Ghostship again.
Neither. I'd rather watch neither, because now that I know what happens in Triangle, the mystery's gone.
Yeah, it does it takes a bit away.
Yeah.
That reveal was really good.
Okay, so Adam, where do you stand? I think I know where Dave and Tom stand. Which one of these they prefer? What about you?
Yeah.
Wait, where do I stand? Hold on.
I thought you were pro Ghostship.
No.
What? You've been on
He's neither movie right now.
Neither?
No, Ghostship was pretty garbage. I would not let anyone watch that. Triangle, I'm all right with Triangle. There's still some stuff I don't like about it, but I don't think I would watch it again.
All right.
That scene where she like boomerang throws the shotgun at herself. Oh, chef's kiss. Amazing.
We all lost it there. Hands were up in the air.
Wait, didn't we have to talk about a mirror? Wasn't that an important topic to bring up?
No.
A mirror?
Well, for some reason, right when you first realize that like the loop is starting in Triangle, the camera like zooms into the mirror and then continues through it. Like, oh, we've crossed through the looking glass.
My God.
One pill makes
I know. Was anyone else
You know.
expecting the reflection to do something opposite her? And you're like, that's
I
not
did.
a reflection.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting for that scene.
I thought that's when the ghost ship part would start.
That's when the ghost busts through.
But no, I figured that's when like the loop starts. But again, your point of like, no, the whole movie is itself is a loop. Yeah, it was just a pointless scene that didn't need to be included.
I know, it was weird. It was really
It
weird
was just
why they
a
did
nice little magic trick with the camera.
They wanted to flex their.
Typical
I
we
know.
could do with the camera.
They wanted to flex their CGI. Muscle.
I think it was. I literally think it was just playing around. The cinematographer playing around.
Yeah, I think so as well now.
Yep, because it had no plot point
Yeah.
whatsoever.
I'm still upset about the car crash, though. That's like the one thing that really bugs me.
Really,
Fair
it
enough.
ties it all together for me.
Where's the rest of the car crashes? Where's the rest of the bodies?
Why do we only collect lockets, corpses, and seagulls? Why aren't we collecting car crashes?
Why is the axe
And
back
fire
on
axes.
the?
Yeah,
Why is the axe back on the ship?
exactly.
Why is it back where it was? And the thing on the ground that she kicks away.
You tell me.
Why are both those back?
You tell me that too.
I think it's tied to
Why does the shotgun
human
keep coming
body.
back?
I think it has to do with its inanimate objects are not part of the reset.
Or the seagull body, except her locket.
What locket? Which part?
The one that she keeps consistently dropping down the grate, where she's like, those are my lockets. And then
I think that's
lockets.
for the next little while. It's like just a tell that if you can, so you can see which version of her you're watching. Like there's one that has the locket around her neck and one that doesn't. When they interact with it, they
But
need.
having that in kind of breaks that logic. Then.
Like, what
I
are the
don't know.
rules?
Yeah.
What are the rules? In Ghost Ship, there are rules. There is heaven and hell and a guy who collects souls for hell. These are
And
the
then when the-
rules.
That's the thing. Outside of that, I think Triangle was not bad.
I love that it's confusing though, because remember the body's floating out there and she's like, look, it's a fucking body. There's a whole human body. And then like the seagulls fly away and there's no body. And they're like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah.
I can explain that one. Hungry seagulls.
Oh, they
just
just
got to nip it.
consumed 140 pounds of human flesh in a couple minutes
But-
there.
There is a,
So that's like my only
Yeah,
major gripe
yeah.
with Triangle. They didn't have. It's kind of loosey goosey with some of the rules, but
Yeah, but not enough to be like,
yeah, not enough to fully break it.
not enough to be that annoying. It's a little loosey goosey, but like,
Timey-limey, loopy-whoopy.
But it kind of breaks the loop of points for me.
well, let's say let's base it. Okay, it's just organic, part of the loop. If it's not organic, it's not part of the loop, and everything will reset. Because it has to. Because the boat has to be there again. The boat has to capsize again. The axes have to show back up. The shotguns have to show back up. The food has to show back up.
well, actually
And presumably
Also-
this loop has been happening for a very long time based on the sheer number of dead. What's her names? A fucking little.
Like 40.
There's like fucking
like one
40
day.
of them,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And presumably she doesn't only die there. She probably dies in a lot of different places because she dies in the theater too. So and
Yeah, why weren't
So
there a lot of
why weren't
bodies
there
in
a
the
lot
theater?
of bodies
Yeah.
in the theater too?
So that's the only thing that bugs me because like it's like where all this other stuff go. Like it's just like it chooses what can stay and what can go randomly to me. And that's the
I would-
only thing that really bugs me.
And that's why Ghost Ship is better, because there's rules.
I wouldn't
Thank
say
you for
Ghost
coming
Ship
to
is
my TED
better
Talk.
because, but that's like my only major gripe with Triangle. It chooses what stays and what goes randomly,
Yeah.
and I don't like that.
Yeah, they leave it up for mystery, I think. And I think it's enough. They explain enough.
Yep.
They explain enough.
Leave it
Yeah, there's
open-ended.
enough there.
Yep.
And then if you don't
Agreed.
understand, they're like, fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah, he was drunk when he wrote it, so
Probably.
he says he was.
He was drunk when he came up with the idea. I don't think he was drunk
Oh.
for the writing of it.
No, I imagine him sitting down with like a
Yeah,
box
we
of
can't
wine.
know that for
Yeah,
sure.
that wasn't.
If
in
you're
the-
drunk when you come up with an idea, you're probably drunk all the time.
So yeah. All right. Either
Okay.
way, Triangle is better than
there
Ghost
you
Ship.
go. So Adam, where do you fall on this? Did you like Triangle more or Ghost Ship?
I'm gonna say I like Triangle more because I like the suspense element. I like that it is ambiguous, like it's open ended. We don't know all the rules, like we've been discussing. So you have to kind of think a bit more and put it together. I was frustrated at Triangle at times. We were shouting while watching it, but like they took it in a different direction where, again, we were getting frustrated. It was like, why isn't she talking to people? Why isn't she talking to people? And then the next scene, she's right there interacting with the crew or interacting with her friends. So I'm glad they tried something different. I think it was, I don't know, maybe too ambitious for the director. Like maybe he had more in his head that he wanted to get out, but he was restricted due to budget, time, whatever it may be. But for what they've done, yeah, I enjoyed it. As for Ghost Ship, the only thing I would give Ghost Ship credit for is two things. The pacing was fantastic. It flies through that movie, which was great. It's only an hour and 30 minutes, but we get right into that ship at like the 12-minute mark. And It just goes nonstop. The second part, and I wanted to cue you up, Matt, for this. Did you recognize the song that was on the radio for the tugboat?
Absolutely, I do. It's Not Falling by Mudvayne.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Like,
I knew it immediately.
why do I recognize this? Oh, new metal.
Oh, it's 2004, so it must be some new metal music.
Yeah, let's play it once, and at the end of the credits, let's get it a-going. So that's why I like
Oh,
Ghostship.
man, let's see how gnarly this one crew member is. It's going to get blown up soon.
Yeah, he's an outcast.
Not falling.
Did
But
you guys
yeah,
recognize the child actor from
Yes.
Ghostship?
Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch.
Emily
I know-
Browning?
Yeah, Adam got that one right away, and I was impressed.
I know her from the TV series for American Gods.
Okay, I think we have exhausted ourselves of talking about these two movies. I feel like we can continue shouting, but we're going to stop right now because this is going to be a mess to edit.
Yeah.
Oh, one last question.
We're stopping right now because this
Which
is going
movie
to
is
be
more
a...
ambitious, Adam?
God damn
Was
it,
Triangle or Van Helsing?
Nope. And that concludes this episode of Grindhouse Courthouse. Thank you for listening to this double feature. We'll be back whenever.
And with that, the court is adjourned. Come back next time for a new trial with new litigants in the never-ending parade of schlock that is Grindhouse Courthouse. Motherfuckers.